All right, and welcome back to another Indy Investor Pod, the podcast where we just like to talk about Indy real estate investing, everything that's going on in the city, all the strategies, tips, just anything that has to do with Indy investing. This is what we want to talk about. We want to put forth the education. We want to help anybody out that we can. This is brought to you by the Simple Wholesaling Group. My name is Brian Snyder, the host for today's episode. I'm super excited to have my guest on here today, Vickie Perry from Cyrea. I probably should have had her way on before episode 30, but I think she'll forgive me for it. But with that, let's get on with the show. All right, and thank you for tuning in for another Indy Investor Pod. I have the Vickie Perry here with me today, the Executive Director of Cyrea, Central Indiana Real Estate Investing Association here in Indianapolis, one of the best places to invest in the U.S. So, Vickie, how are you doing? Thanks a lot for joining me today.
Thank you. Thank you very much for asking me. I'm doing great. I'm glad it's Friday. However, we do have a workshop tomorrow. Janet Hawker and Eric Downing from Hawker Law and Title are running a workshop tomorrow morning. It's our last 101 workshop for 2000. What are we? 2020?
2020.
Yeah. But so we have a workshop tomorrow. But things are good.
I know those are the things that we want to talk about on this episode because, we need to make sure that everybody that's investing in Indy, you and I talk all the time about the local people and like how we can help them and the education we can put forth. What classes can we have? Because we're used to so being in person, but now with this age of being able to stream stuff, being able to do webinars, everybody's now like a master at Zoom and everything because of all this. Like it's a great opportunity for people because we have a lot of investors here in Indy that aren't necessarily live right here in Indianapolis, whether they're in Colorado or New York or overseas or California, wherever it may be. So these are the things that we want to talk about because you put on this amazing 101 classes that I thought were phenomenal. Everything from, well, the wholesaling one was pretty good if I do say so myself, but so the wholesaling, flipping, owner financing, you taught a class on bird dogging, just a bunch of stuff like that. But then there's this 101 series. So this is what I wanted to have you on here for, Vickie. I wanted to kind of dive into this stuff and just kind of talk a little bit about everything that Cyrea has to offer and even kind of get into, hey, what's going to happen next or what can we do and things like that, just to bring some awareness because such great stuff going on here in Indianapolis, such great stuff coming from Cyrea. So thank you so much for joining me. Let's start off. Just can you give us just a little just background? So what is Cyrea? How did it get started? Kind of what's the kind of the mantra that Cyrea just puts out there for everybody?
So Cyrea is 31 years old. It started out as the Indianapolis Landlord Association years and years and years ago, and then it evolved into the RIA. And like you said, it stands for Central Indiana Real Estate Investors Association. It is run by a board of directors, and then we are blessed enough to have a whole bunch of volunteers who see the value and are active, like you, Brian, and the Simple Wholesaling Group. But basically our mission is to teach people the gold standard of investing. The reason I get so passionate about it is because, first of all, you know how Rodney Dangerfield used to say, we don't get no respect? We don't. And if you look at it, 73% of all single-family home rentals in the state of Indiana are owned by small mom-and-pop businesses like you and me. Mm-hmm. What would happen if all of us decided to stop being landlords? Where would all these people live? Yeah. And so, there are a handful of bad landlords out there. We all know it. But 99% of them are good, hard-working people who contribute wonderful things to the communities that they're involved in. And that's part of why I'm so passionate about Cyrea. That's what we're all about, is teaching them how to be good investors.
That's exactly right. And I think you guys do an amazing job at it too, and just making people aware of all the stuff that's going on. So I know you guys do a lot of stuff with the in-state RIA as well. And we can, that's probably a whole other episode, and you and I were kind of talking about it offline. So we'll get you and Super E on here one time. We'll talk all about that stuff. But so who should be a part of Cyrea? So who should join, or what kind of people should become members of Cyrea?
So if you would have asked me that 4 or 5 years ago, I would have said that half of our members are brand new people who've never invested and they want to learn how to invest. Now, half of our members have been investors for over 5 years. So things have changed. And the reason that's important is because if you are an old investor, or meaning an experienced investor, then we want you to come and contribute. There is a lot of movement in the country and in our state that is anti-investor friendly legislation. We need the experienced investors to be active at CIREA. CIREA is very active with the Indiana State REIA. As you mentioned, Elizabeth and I mean, Elizabeth's president, I sit on the board of directors for state, and we fight on behalf of investors so that all of us who are making our living through real estate investing in this wonderful state of Indiana, so we can keep doing that. So back to your question, who should belong? It's everybody that is remotely interested in being an investor. Or if you're a realtor, my board put out a number last year that says that 40% of all the brokers are involved in investing. Well, we have over 800 members, but only a third of them are real estate licensed brokers. So that means there's a whole lot of real estate agents out there who don't know about us or aren't members of us who need to be, so that they can counsel their clients on how to do investing the right way and actually to make more money, because they're losing money by turning some deals down. See, Brian, I can go on and on.
Oh, I know. You and I knew this when we scheduled this. We were like, okay, this is going to be like a 1-part, 2-part, 10-part episode, but
Yeah.
easy to do. So no, I think it's safe to say that we'll probably have you on again, Vickie. So
Okay.
we can probably do another episode here. But no, I mean that's the truth. It's funny that we kind of joke about that, but one of my favorite things about CIREA is that it's such a great place to just go and talk about real estate. So it's so important to be around people that are like-minded. So it's one thing to go there to the physical location and network and talk to the vendors and listen to the speakers and everything like that. But there's also like a great social media page that people can communicate on, people can list properties on, people can ask questions on. So I think it's such a great thing. But also one of the things that I've seen, and I know you'll kind of appreciate, because this plays right into your wheelhouse too, as a former educator, that CIREA like kind of provided me with an opportunity to kind of go there and hone my craft a little bit by volunteering and speaking and presenting and being on a panel and stuff like that. And when you're able to do that in a situation, that's how you hone your craft. That's when you know that you're in kind of I don't want to say expert, because that sounds a little bit too hierarchy, but that's when you know that you have it down and that you understand it. That's kind of the full understanding, is when you can teach it or when you can talk about it. I think CIREA does a fantastic job of that, of providing the opportunities for that. And just like you and I, if we have a conversation, you and I are going to be on the phone for an hour because we're talking about real estate, and that's what CIREA offers, which is such a great thing. But I kind of mentioned like the vendors in there, so I think it's a great place to also go to figure out, hey, who is kind of who's leading this, who has a service they can provide, who has something that I can that can help my business. So when we're talking about like maybe the vendors of CIREA, what types of vendors are there, and how do they contribute to the CIREA just community?
So that's really an important part. As we said before, we want to teach people the right way to invest. And not everybody out there servicing the real estate investing industry is someone who, first of all, wants to work with us crazy investors. Secondly, they if they're going to work with us, they need to know that there are certain things that we have to do in order to make a profit on a project. And I would say that of our over 50 vendors, that probably 85% of them are also investors. So they get it. And that's hugely important. And even more important than that, I think we're the only REIA in the state, and maybe even in the region, that does a full background check on every vendor. So before you can be a vendor and offer your services to my members, we check you out, make sure you're not listed on the Indiana Attorney General website, and that you don't have people chasing you down. We've had situations where we've had to ask vendors to not be vendors anymore, and even members not be members. we want people to feel safe, whether you're working with another one of our members or other investors or one of our vendor members.
Nice. So that's great to know, and just great to, like I said, it's such a nice community, and everybody's it seems like they're there for each other, and that's
Yeah.
one part of it too. So that's fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about, so what are some of the, I know when you join and become a member of Cyria, whether it's for your business or personal or anything like that, what are some of the benefits that you receive from being a member of Cyria?
So membership is ridiculously low. It's $199 per person for the year. And if you want to bring on a partner or a spouse, it's an extra $50 for the year. That gets you into what we call the big meetings. So on the first Thursday of the month, we have the main meeting, and that's open to everyone who's a Cyria member for free. You don't pay extra for that. And that's where people like you and other experts in our market will hold panels. We had an attorney panel recently. Oh no, that was for the masters. But we have local experts who talk and who give good presentations on different strategies and different topics. So that's one thing. The second big meeting is what we call the masters meeting. And that one we just had, and we had an attorney panel. So we had actually 4 local attorneys. One of those attorneys is a practicing private lender. And so they were the panel for that masters meeting. That's part of your membership. And then we have 10 small groups, like your wholesaling, like I do a new member orientation. I do, and once a month I do a Tuesday walk-in where people can just walk in and ask me questions. And oh, it's so nice to be back to the building. We have the small group for the Burr method, for property management, for flipping, for short-term rentals. We have one group for women. We have one for I just notes. I mean, we try to have small meetings, and all of those are included in your membership for that $199. Now, in addition to that, we offer additional classes like the 101 classes, or like we had a lunch and learn this week with Patrick Grayson, who is a GC, and he has a degree in property construction, and he taught how to get permits. You know, that's, if anybody who's ever tried to get a permit, I mean, I wish I had had a class like that before I tried to go get a permit. And those we charge 10 or 15 or $20. So that's just to cover the lights and to cover, the expenses to keep the association going. But there's a lot going on. Oh, and Brian, the cool thing is, and this is really pretty cool because COVID made us do it. As you know, we've been trying for years to get all of our meetings and classes filmed and then onto the website. Well, when COVID hit, we didn't have a choice. So since March 14th, every single subgroup and meeting that we've had has been uploaded to the website, and or it's on Zoom. And after we get open full time in July, everything's going to be live and on Zoom or on the website at the same time. So it forced us to do it.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things, is that and that's what happens, and that's what being a part of a community does. When things happen like this, like COVID, that it forces the community to come together and, like, hey, how are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna get above this? How are we gonna cope with all this stuff? And little things like that. It really causes you to analyze your business and get into it of, like, hey, this is where we need to be able to do stuff virtually. We need to be able to have videos out there. And all said and done, really what this is going to do is be able to just expand this Cyria community of, because like I said, there's a lot of investors that aren't necessarily live right here in Indianapolis, that have to, maybe travel 1 hour or 2 hours, or, have to fly to get here or whatever. This is going to provide them an opportunity to see all those classes, to see really what's going on in Indianapolis, to meet the personalities too that are here in the city, the people that are doing things, the people that are actively doing deals each and every day, and get to see them, how they interact with others and things like that. I think it's gonna be really cool. I know I'm excited about it just as a subgroup leader, just the fact that, we usually have 80 people a month show up for our subgroup, but by being able to just broadcast it live and record it and be able to put that out there and with some good visual and some good audio, like, I feel like we can grow that pretty big. So I know I'm super excited about that. So yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's exciting.
So what are some, I know there's some, also some, I mean, we're kind of talking about like everything that your membership gets you. And I know there's also like some other little things, maybe some resources that are available to Cyria, like little benefits. I know there's some things like with Home Depot, and PPG paints and things like that. Can you talk a little bit about just kind of maybe what some of those partnerships, or I don't know if they're partnerships, but I guess just
Sure.
endorsements and things?
Sure. They're really not little. I mean, with Home Depot, we have, so I'll back up. As a member of Cyria, you're automatically a member of the National RIA. And National has about 50,000 members nationwide. They are the only group that has the professional housing provider designation, and we have people working on that designation. So through National, you can also use their benefits if you're a member of Cyria. That's where Home Depot comes in. That is 40% off on your paint. You can do the appliance program. When I got appliances for 2 houses ago, um, I think I saved about $800 on my appliances. And you can set up a pro account that gets you your own pro guy. My guy's Rick, and you take advantage. Stacy Patlin loves to talk about Home Depot because she knows that, and this is something most people don't realize, but you can get the same 11% that Menards offers, you can get it through Home Depot. So we teach people how to do that, but we have that affiliation with Home Depot. With Office Depot, you can save up to 60%. We have PIP printing in Castleton where you can save up to 50%. PPG paint, I just love those guys. Mike is so wonderful and easy to work with. And I just got all the paint that I needed for this last flip that I did, and I saved 40%. And they deliver, and they don't charge you to deliver. And they'll even deliver 5 gallons if you need it. So, that's PPG, but the benefits are numerous. Another thing people ask us all the time, I bet I get this request weekly for coaches. And we are in the process of setting up a coaching program, as you know, because you're going to be part of that. But in the meantime, they can go on to thinkrealty.com and take those coaching videos. As a member of Cyria, you are also a member of Think, and they have phenomenal coaching videos. And all you do is you put in the correct code, and you take advantage of that. So we have discounts, we have coaching, we have, for instance, you can save money at National Tenant Networking. NTN does tenant screening for probably, I'm going to say 60-70% of all of our landlords go through John over at NTN, or skip tracing. You can do all that through them and get the Cyria price. You can get the Cyria price for our home inspector, for a affordable carpet cleaning. They sanitize. So does Bugs Be Gone. You just have to ask for the Cyria price if you're a member, and that's a lot of benefits.
I'm glad I had you on here because I didn't even know some of that stuff. So I need to go. I think I need to attend your orientation class again and sit in there and get all this stuff and things. And I know Stacy Patlin she does like the member benefits and stuff like that. So she's a great person. Link up with her on Facebook. She's active on there and stuff like that. Just an all around awesome person. So definitely connect with her if you have any questions about any of that, or you can always reach out to Vickie. I know her. She loves getting a ton of emails a day. So. Yeah.
Well, Stacy is our Home Depot go-to. I mean, I think she lives and breathes for them because she gets a check back from them every quarter with how much money they spend there on their flips.
Yeah.
But so she's way better at that than I am.
Yeah. No, so it's so great to have those little benefits and those little things that can help out. And like you said, tied into some national things too, like the national RIAs and Think Realty. When you have somebody like Eddie Wilson, who's just, man, he has just crushed it in the business world and does so many stuff out there. Gary Harper, who's our coach, he's on there and a ton of stuff. And Brett and I have contributed to some of their articles and things with Think Realty. So a great opportunity with that as well. So very cool. So if you don't mind, just again, can you tell us again what the membership is, or like how, maybe what the price is again, and then where they can go to become a member of Cyria?
Sure. So If you want to pay monthly, you can. It's $19.50 a month for one person, or $25.50 for two. Or if you want to have your company join so that you can have multiple people use the same membership, I think that's $349. I don't remember for sure on that one. The annual is $199 for one person, plus or $50 more for the second person. Where you go would be www dot, and I'm going to spell it because people always spell it wrong, CIREIA, so Central Indiana Real Estate Investors Association .club, not .com, but .club. And there is a link there that says join now, and it tells you all of the benefits that you get. And then there's another link for resources. There's another link for videos. There's tons of information on the website.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And I'll definitely put that link in there as well. This podcast, this one will come out Monday. So I'll put that link in there as well. With that. So awesome stuff. And Vickie, I'm just going to give you a heads up right now. I think you and I need to do another episode on just the subgroups of what they offer, like what all they are, what they offer and stuff like that. So I'll connect with you and we'll do that here in, a couple weeks, coming forward and stuff like that. But before we get off here, as we're running out of time, I want to kind of talk a little bit about, or give you a chance to kind of maybe talk about what's kind of on the horizon for Cyria, kind of what's next. What are some things that maybe they're looking forward to, and whether it's the next few months or next year, or is there anything on the horizon?
That's an entire new show. So absolutely, we have a new board of directors. Rick Hauenstein is the new president. Dave Short has come on the board. Darren Finney, both of them are really heavy duty flippers. I know they both work with you on a regular basis, and Dave is on the radio show or the podcast. On the horizon, there's just not enough time. We've got the coaching program coming. We're going to expand the classes that are online. We are applying to the state to have some of the classes qualify for CE credits. We're going to expand our activity with realtors because they need us. I mean, they desperately need to know about investing. And I got a phone call last week from a guy, and he had a problem, and he said, I've had problems like this my whole career, but I didn't know about you guys. So on the horizon, it's to let people know. Ernesto from the Out of State group, he and I talked a year ago when you made the introduction, and we talked about trying to get all the out-of-staters more involved with Cyria because we can help them. Mm-hmm. That's what we're here for. So as far as what's on the horizon, tons and tons and tons.
So, and I will say that, I know Vickie's got some ideas. I think we talk about it all the time. I know her board is doing an amazing job too, or I shouldn't say your board, but the Cyria board, we should say. But they're doing an amazing job of kind of what they're thinking of and what they want to put forth as far as education and just resources and things like that. So, outstanding job. Vickie, thank you so much for joining me on here. I really appreciate that. What's the best place for somebody to reach out to you if they have any questions or just want to find out some more information?
The best thing is to email me, and that is executive director@cyria.club. You can call, but I'm in a lot of meetings, so it's kind of hard to reach me by phone, but I get back to emails within a day.
Awesome. So, and then also if you have any questions too, you can even jump on, just find, some of the members. I think there's just find one of the members. You can reach out to me on Facebook if you need to, or Rachel Haney takes care of some of the social media stuff as well for Cyria. So you can reach out to either one of us. And hopefully we can answer your questions. But again, thank you so much. We'll have you back here in a couple of weeks or something. We'll take care of the subgroups. Then maybe we'll do another one too on just what's on the horizon, what's next, and things like that. And I know you and I will be talking. We always have ideas about what we want to do next and things like that. So.
Well, Brian, thank you very much. And I just do want to mention that the other people on the board, I get a lot of the credit for Cyria, but the truth is it takes a village. And Sterling Davis is vice president. Ron Davidson is on the board. Wendy Roser. Who am I forgetting? See, this is why I don't do this normally.
Yeah.
I already mentioned.
Yeah, but no, I think you got everybody with the people you mentioned before and stuff.
Okay.
But I will say, it's an amazing board. They're great people to work with. I think I've done deals with every single person on there and stuff. So great board. You guys work very well together. But yeah, so Cyria.club, check it out. A ton of stuff on there, a ton of stuff for you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Vickie. Feel free to reach out to me. if you have any other suggestions on what you would like to hear from this show, the Indy Investor Pod, definitely reach out to me, Brian at simplewholesaling.com, or hit me up on Facebook. And with that, we'll see you later.
Thank you.